Welcome back. Thank you for joining us. You're still on The Polity. If you're just joining us, trust me, you've missed too much. But nevertheless, we move on, like people would always say. With me is still our guest analyst, Tinubu. And we're still talking about ministerial prospects that's examining President Tinubu's promises of inclusion. Before we went on the break, we're talking about Kogi State and all of that. But then now let's dive into this properly, talking about the ministerial prospects. Okay. Do you actually have prospects for this ministerial list, even in as much as we hate to assume about? There's been words on the street that President Tinubu is someone that likes to actually employ, let me use that word, employ people that are capable and competent enough to actually say, oh yes, we are doing the right thing. But do you think this is actually going to be the case, irrespective of the fact that there will be people from the party that will expect that, oh, it's time for this man to pay me back. I worked for him during the campaign seasons, and now I'm expecting him to actually pay me back as being a minister.
Well, for the fact that the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria is explicitly clear that each state will have one nominee to be in the Federal Executive Council. So we expect that Bola Ahmed Tinubu will appoint people of impeccable character. You know, he is a man of impeccable character, so you should not expect otherwise from him. He is the man who knows how to do it. He is the leader of Lagos. He is the first governor, democratic elected first governor of Lagos from 1999 to 2003, I think, if I am not mistaken. So he is the architect of modern Lagos. So we expect that what he did in Lagos will be replicated in the whole country. Since now the issue of Lagos is over, it is now the Nigerian populace decided to bring him on board to see that what actually this man did in Lagos, we want him to replicate it in the Federal Republic.
But don't you think there's a huge difference between governing a state and governing a whole country with over 200 million people?
You know, Lagos is a continent on its own.
Yeah,
it's a country on its own.
Supposedly
so someone that has the way out, someone that has versatile knowledge, someone that is competent enough to rule Lagos, he can be able to manage the affairs of this country. I think very well he can be able to do it. Of course, since from the one has he started now for 4 days in office, he has shown the Nigerian populace that he is man of his word. He can do it. He will make this country a better place for all of us. Now he will look at, from the look of his appointment, the appointment of the service chiefs, you know, there is diversity in his appointment. He ensured that people from all angles, all the 6 geopolitical zones were represented. Yeah. Now he has sent the names to the Senate for confirmation. Or otherwise, we hope that the National Assembly will do the right, will expedite it work so that these people can sit on their mandate, so that they know that this is the trust that the president has entrusted, and they have covenant before Nigerians to do the right thing, to ensure that they have bring their expertise, they have bring what is expected of them to see that this country is secured, so that business, economy can prosper, so that this country will be among the committee of the nation, that the country is moving forward. On the issue of the ministers, we hope that the president will appoint, you know, as I said earlier, it is a process. Now the process has been going. The Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria gave him 2 months to appoint his, as amended, the 19 as amended gave him 2 months to appoint his minister, so that at least the affairs of the ministries and the parastatal can be moved smoothly. So we expect that this process is ongoing. We are still not out of time. He is still on course, trying to put things in a right perspective, so that the Nigerian people will be happy with those that are expected to be appointed, so that these people can come on board to give their own expertise, to give their own quota in the development of this country.
Okay, but do you have prospects? Do you have people you are looking out for? say for minister so. I mean, people have been, there's been words on the street about, oh, why not bring AFDB chairman on board and all of that. Do you think this is something that is actually feasible in the Nigerian economy right now?
You know, politicians, whatever you think, they will be always their self, always their self. That appoint this, appoint that, appoint that. The president knows those that help him during the campaign time, and the president knows those that are quite competent enough to be in his cabinet. The president knows those who have this country at heart. The president knows those who, when he assemble competent team together, they are capable of moving this country forward. I am not after anybody, I am not campaigning for anybody, but we hope that those that will be appointed are people of impeccable character, are people that knows how to do it, are people that have track record of competency, so that they can move this country forward. So anybody that is being appointed as a minister, do otherwise. The National Assembly is there to checkmate, for oversight function, to do the right thing. They can make alarm, and the Nigerians are given free hand, so that anything you see that is not intended with what is expected to be, you can report that, you can raise alarm. The EFCC is there, the ministers are not immune for prosecution, so the president can do. And I hope that the president is a man of his word. I know that he is. He is the person that when he appointed you, he will ensure that you are doing the right thing. What he expects you to do, he will make sure he will be doing follow up. He will be following you up, so that to see that what you are there to do is what you are doing. When you decide to do otherwise, then he can sack you and appoint another one that had the country at heart. So anybody, we expect that those that will be appointed will try to be fair to Nigerians, will try to take all Nigerians as their constituency. There should be no any bias, there will be no given preference to certain region. Now the leadership is for everybody. The campaign is over, the elections are over. Now it is time to take governance with seriousness. Now it is time to see what can we do, what legacy should we leave for the Nigerian people after we left, so that this country will move forward, so that at least the unborn generation will be proud of this generation.
Sorry to cut you. You mentioned something earlier on about President Tinubu knowing the difference between people that campaign for him and people that are actually competent enough. So are we looking at the fact that, oh, it's going to be a case of whether you campaign for me or not, I want competent people on board?
Well, the fact is that when you are assembling team, you should bring everybody on board, not only the politicians, including the technocrat. You know, the issue of building this nation is a joint tax. It's a joint tax that everyone has a role to play. The saleswoman in the market, she has a role to play. So it is expected that whoever is bring on board, he should know that out of millions, more than 200 million Nigerians, you have been selected from your state. It's not that you are better than everybody. It's not that you are more competent than everybody, but it is God decided that the president will pick on you, so that you should bring your own expertise. You should think that this country, take this country at your heart. What can I do to better the tomorrow of the unborn generation? What can I do to make life easy for Nigerians? What can I do to see that this country has moved forward? So if all the appointees of the president, not only the president, including the governors and their aide, think that put this country at their heart, I think we can move forward as a nation.
But you would agree with that? So that's almost impossible given the Nigeria we have right now. There's always a conflict of self-interest.
Certainly.
Yes, but don't you think the president, because of course the president cannot oversee all of these things by himself.
Yes. So
don't you think there should be a body that would actually be checkmating these people? Because I still stand on the fact that I do not think Nigerian populations are actually strong enough to not just checkmate, but hold them accountable given previous experiences we've had with these said politicians. And then, I'm sorry to cut you short, that's one question too. We've had the guest on the polity that said it strongly feels you should actually rise to that position. You should start from the rural areas, of course, the grassroots, start from being a councillor to being a local government chairman, then the governor, from being a governor to, okay, let's say senator, before you can get to being a minister. So now, if we are going by what that man has said now, it's going to look like we're going to have lots of past governors on the ministerial list.
Well, your first question is that, you know, this country, it is the leadership hierarchy is divided into three. We have the executive, we have the legislature, and we have the judiciary. So the function of the legislature, they are to make laws for the Nigerian populace. They are also, there is the other oversight function to checkmate the activities of the executive. So when each and every arm of government is doing its function optimally, we don't need Nigerians to hold their leaders accountable for them. Those that are responsible, those that we have been appointed, those that we have been elected, the national assembly is there for their oversight to checkmate the excessive of the executive, is there to ensure that this person that he is appointed into ministry or parastatal, he is doing the right thing. So if this elected official, they are the one, the Nigerian populace on their constituency give them their trust, so that what is expected, if they did what is expected of them, we don't have the issue of bringing the other people to come and checkmate them. So if this parastatal, if this arm of government, these three tiers of government is doing the right thing, we don't have, as you said earlier, you know, Nigerian, there are certain people that with mischievous, they don't have the country at heart. So that is why we are in three places, where there is executive, there is legislature, and there is judiciary.
But let's say, for instance, let's say the legislative turns out to be rubber stamped like the Ninth Assembly. What happens then? Who checkmates who?
I do not believe the Ninth Assembly are rubber stamp. I believe that they did their best, the history is there to what they did. History is there to at least judge them according to what they did. But you know, there are certain parameters in government. You see, if the legislature decided to do otherwise, the Nigerian populace are there. There is this whistleblower policy now that whenever somebody, even within an organization, he has seen that his boss is trying to do otherwise, he can blow that whistle, so that the EFCC is there, the DSS, you know, everyone had his own, every parastatal, every security apparatus have its own function, so that it can do what is expected. The laws of the land is explicitly clear what is expected to do. If it is done, then we don't have any problem. But if someone that is appointed decided to do otherwise, there is so many parameters that is there in place to checkmate the excessive of those that decided to Then what is the second?
The next question about the parastatals.
The parastatal.
Okay, now let's just take it to the parastatals that we're going to have now. And I like to take from the book of President Tinubu saying we should endure as Nigerians. Do you actually think this should actually spill over to politicians, not just Nigerians enduring enough? He said, oh, the first, it might look like a bumpy ride at first, but then we should look at the long run. But then some persons have come out to say we shouldn't be the only ones enduring. I mean, Nigerians shouldn't be the one to take the back for all of the time, when we have politicians that they literally pay them for sitting, for standing, for eating, for doing everything. Do you actually agree with this?
I cannot agree. The issue of sacrifice should come from one-sided. I wish that, and I hope that this issue of sacrifice should be all over. The leaders, the governors, the president, down to all those that have been appointed, they should sacrifice for this country. You should not make it one-sided. You should ensure that the cost of governance is reduced, in the sense that you know what you can do to perform ultimately. Try to close the leakage. Try to not to waste the resources of the country. Try to do the right thing. So it is expected that not only the ordinary Nigerians should make sacrifice, including the elected officials, the elite. They should make sacrifice for this country to move forward. If you tell me that the Nigerian populace are finding it easy to cope with the issue of what is happening in the economy, then you are lying. You know, everybody knows the situation in the country. Nobody is smiling, but everyone should be on board to sacrifice for this country to move forward. This country is under construction. We are trying to see that it is not a roof. We are trying to see that everyone, if every individual make the necessary sacrifice that is expected to do, nobody will be blaming that these people, they have decided to, on the issue like the issue of increase in tuition fee in our universities. We are not happy with that. We see that our universities, they are increasing the tuition fee to the average Nigerian cannot be able to make to that issue, even though there is now student loan that is put in place, though it has not effectively started working. But we hope that everybody should sacrifice, not that you leave our institution in comatose, you leave our institutions dilapidated while you are taking your children abroad to go and study. No, that should not be what we expect. We expect that everybody should sacrifice for this country to move forward. If everybody did the right thing, then this country can move forward and we will have a prosperous and secure nation so that everyone will be happy.
Okay, so as we round up, I'm still going to talk about inclusion. Speaking of inclusion, I would like you to compare this administration to the past administrations that we've had, and what are you going to rate this administration when it comes to inclusion generally?
well, the administration that could spend only 43 days in office, if you say that the issue of inclusion, or issue of appointment, you will not be fair to the administration, because the president has to appoint those that he knows, though that he has personal relationship with them, though that he knows they can help him to mantle the
but don't you think sometimes competence should come beyond personal relationship? Yes,
I am very optimistic. I am very optimistic that those he appointed are competent enough to be in those positions. Yes, certainly I am very but on the issue of inclusion, we hope that the inclusion we will hope that his subsequent appointment will not be lopsided. His appointment will come in the sense that each and every nook of this country will feel sense of belonging. If each and every nook and cranny of this country have sense of belonging, there will not be any agitation of separation or anything. If every region understand that this government is for us, this government belong to everybody, this government belong to all of us, I think there will not be any agitation but it is not much this time around to start judging the government. I think you will not be fair enough to the government. At least we should allow it, but we are still calling on the government, whatever it will do, whatever it decide to do in the future, let it be for the interest of all Nigerians, so that the average Nigerian will feel that he is have a sense of belonging in his own country, so that the country can be able to move forward.
Okay, I would hold on to that with my left hand, so I will eat it with Amala later in the day. So thank you very much for joining us, Tajuddin Ahmed Tijani.
Thank you, an
insightful one on the program today. And we do hope we would have you some other time on politics.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, our viewers at home, you've read, you should stay hopeful, because like Tajuddin has said, is assured that the president would actually select people that will give you sense of belonging. It will make you feel among and say, yes, I'm Nigerian and I have someone representing me out there, not just representing me, of course, representing me well, and a competent one at that. So this is where we come to the end of Polity for today. Thank you for joining us. I remain Messi Babajide. See you same time, same station tomorrow. Bye.